Hello, welcome to another episode of Awaken the Goddesses Spiritual Entrepreneur Series. Today I'm speaking to Isik. Isik, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Of course, thank you so much for having me on your series. So basically I help people find their purpose, and I help them create whatever they want in their business, in their relationship they have with their family, with their friends, relationship they have with themselves, and guiding them to creating what's true for them and coming from a true place. So and I do that through I give sessions, one-to-one sessions. I give workshops for women that are monthly. There's actually another one happening tomorrow. And yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, that sounds cool. It's a really fulfilling way to earn your living by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's basically when I realized you can actually do whatever you want. You can actually have whatever you want, and you don't have to settle for less. You don't have to do something first and then go for whatever that is that you want. You can actually go straight forward to that. And once I realized that, and I started doing that in my life, and I saw people around me that they're doing things but they don't have to do that. They can actually realize their dreams. So I started helping people in that. I've always done that. I've always done that with my friends and people around me, but after a while I thought, you know what, I might as well do this as a job. Why not? So that's when I started shifting into making this my business. So yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my question, how you started, why you started, when you started.
Cool.
Tell me about the whole journey.
So my background is in architecture, so it's something totally not related at all. Because I love design. I love creating, beautiful spaces for people. So I cared more about people than the space. And even when I was studying it in the studio, I was walking around the studio, talking to people, because people are very stressed. It's a very stressful course to do, and they're not taught how to manage it. So I was going around chatting to my friends, making sure they're okay. So then after I started working, I got a few jobs here and there. I was sitting in front of a computer and all day, and I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to connect with people. I wanted to move around and not just be stuck on a table, doing a drawing of a building. Then after that, by the way, what happened is I've always gone to trainings and seminars, and I love learning. So I actually calculated this the other day. In the last 10 years, I spent more than 20K on myself, invested more than 20K on trainings, books, seminars, all that stuff. And as I was going through that change, I realized I don't want to do architecture. I started working in a school because I loved kids. I love being around kids, and I just love having fun with them and connecting with them. So after that, I started giving sessions as well. I started doing this coaching training because that's when I decided, okay, I want to do this properly. This is going to be my job now. And in the qualification, you had to give sessions. So as I started giving the sessions, after a while, I stopped, I quit the job, and it became my full-time thing, giving sessions, doing workshops. So it was like a gradual process, but it happened really quick. The whole thing happened over 6 months, really, a bit less than 6 months, 5 months and something. Yeah, but obviously you can't jump from 0 to 100. I had to go through all that process of okay, so yeah, this is how it happened.
So tell me, what sort of challenges you had along the way, or that you still have?
Challenges were we're the only person getting in our way, really. So that was the same case for me. So I had beliefs and thoughts going on oh, you're too young. Who do you think you are to do this? I'm 24. So like people who are doing this, they were much more older than me, and they had qualifications and everything. So I believed I needed a qualification, so I was going after that rather than doing the actual thing. But when I actually was working in a school, I didn't have qualification to work with kids, but like somehow it happened. So obviously qualifications help you to get where you want to get to, but it's not solely, doesn't define who you are, doesn't define what you're doing for the other person. Basically, that person's coming for you, for your energy. So the challenge was like, thoughts like that. Like things I kind of put in my own way, like stopping me from like doing that. What else was there? Let me just think. Yeah, I think getting myself out there. I think making that change of this is what I'm doing right now, like making that decision and actually like going for that and telling people around me this is what I'm doing, going to networking events, because it requires you to be vulnerable. It's something I truly love. It's coming from my heart. So when I put it out there, it's scarier because it's so true for me. But if it was a job, like, I don't know, if I was working for someone else and going to a networking event for someone else, it would have been easy because it's not me. It's not something I truly love. So it was about being vulnerable and being okay with being vulnerable and being okay with not everyone's gonna want to work with me. So that's fine, you know? And there is always, you can always grow. There's always space to grow. So right now, I want to talk more at events. So talking and doing trainings for companies. So in doing that, there's always a resistance that you face. Like it's like going to a new level, you know? It's like you thought you dealt with it. Oh, I thought I dealt with confidence or whatever. And then it comes again because you're growing more and more. So that's fine. So that's like what's happening right now for me. But obviously, like, that doesn't mean I'm gonna not do it. Like, I'm gonna do it anyway, you know? So that's where I am at the moment.
So you work quite closely with people, obviously, then, if you have like this coaching relationship and dynamic with them. So tell me, with that in mind, how do you protect yourself and also nourish yourself spiritually and keep yourself grounded?
I don't use any protection light or anything like that because I don't believe there's anything that's like harming me out there. Because I'm not against it, but when you put all that protection and all that, you're telling yourself there's something dangerous out there I need to protect myself from. So you're even like implementing more fear like to your body. So, but to ground myself, I have a morning routine. You were mentioning it. So basically, I wake up in the morning, and so I switch my phone off when I go to bed. I switch my phone off, and I wake up, and I don't put it on until like 11, 12. And I wake up around like, I don't know, 6, 7 a.m. So I have that few hours in a day where, so what do? I wake up, I do breathing, I do breath work, like 10-minute, 15-minute breath work, and I do like 10-minute meditation. And then I write. I love journaling. Then I dance. I love dancing. So that's like the favorite part of the morning routine I have, just dancing 15-20 minutes. It really brings me back in my body. And also doing all of that as the first thing in the morning is like telling myself I come first. So I have to like nourish myself first before I can, go out and help others. And then I do a few, emails or whatever I need to do that day, get that done, and then I switch my phone on. So nothing gets interrupted. So, and, during sessions and before or after, I just make myself present. That little exercise we did in the beginning just takes 1 or 2 minutes, just imagining yourself, you just empty, you're present, and you deliver from that space. So you don't project onto the person. You're not putting your own beliefs and stuff onto the other person. So that's what I do.
Yeah, so for everyone watching, the exercise that we did, I was telling Isik just before we started how I always get nervous before I do these, even though I've done loads of them. So she did this gorgeous exercise with me that really sort of calmed me down. It was really nice. So Isik, tell me then, what would you recommend? What would you say to other women who wanted to go down a more spiritual path with their way of earning a living? Maybe they're stuck in a job that they want to get out of, or maybe they've got an idea, or maybe they have no idea what they want to do, but they just know that what they're doing at the moment is not fulfilling them and they want to be somewhere else.
That's a really good question. I actually wrote about this the other day. I write regularly on Facebook and Instagram about embracing your gifts, and even if you don't know what it is, there are things that brings you alive. Like when you do that, you forget about time, and all you care about is doing that thing, and you would do that rest of your life even if you're not paid for that. There are a few tools that I guide people through to find those things. But if you want to make a living out of it, like quitting your job immediately and going for that is not a very fluid way to do it. What I would say is don't rush. There's no rush, honestly. It's you have time, but also it's about like having the job, and during the time apart from the job, it's exploring like what do I love, and having experiences, doing experiences and seeing if I love that, or okay, I don't prefer that, let's go for this. And by trying out, by testing out, you come to a conclusion what you love and what you don't love. And there are people, I wouldn't say this is the way how to do it, because it's different for everyone. So it would be much better for them to actually quit the job and then like fully focus on that. They can be quite driven, but some people, they need that gradual transition. So it really depends on the person, but I'd say is like do something you love every day, feed yourself with that, so then your soul, like you're gonna be, I want to do more of that, let's explore that more. So you're giving that little nudge every day, even if you're kind of stuck in a rut, you have that, and after a while you get to a point where, okay, I need to change this now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be a rush. Basically, it can happen over time.
Yeah, I think that's quite important, is it? The fact that it doesn't have to be, there can be a gentle transition between what you're doing now and what you eventually want to do. This whole, there's a lot of talk, a lot of books and stuff, these self-help books about starting your own thing, just says, you just quit and that will sort of catalyze you doing something that you love, but not necessarily. What it does is it puts a lot of pressure on you, doesn't it, really? So yeah, I love this about doing something every single day that you love, because that it's like a top up of just, you've got your empty glass and you're just topping it up.
Yeah, and you're reminding yourself you're being in that energy more and more. Then after a while, that becomes your normal foundation. That becomes your normal ground where you operate from. Then you can't go back to the old way anymore. Then you go, okay, I really need to change something about this.
Yeah. I really love your tip as well about leaving your phone off until about 11 o'clock, because that's a lot of people, myself included, struggle with, because I use my phone as my alarm clock. So the second I open my eyes in the morning, I've got my phone there. Oh, there's emails.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, try it out, honestly. A friend of mine does that, so he recommended it to me, and I tried it out, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is bliss. So even if I fall back and do like 1 or 2 days, I forget to like put it on a airplane mode, and I wake up and I have all these like WhatsApp, email, or whatever. So it's so important. Try it out even for a week and see how you feel in the end of that week.
No, I'm definitely going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, go for it.
Isik, thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you.